Hello friends, welcome to Oracle Concept Video Series. In this video, we are going to learn about returning into class in Oracle. First, let me start with a simple example. From here, we'll try to understand how to use and when to use the returning into class. So here is a very simple table called T_emp table, basically to store the employee information like employee number, e-name and salary. So here is a very simple anonymous block. Using this, I'm trying to insert a data into the employee table. Since the employee number is an identity column, the moment I insert the employee name into this table, the employee number will get automatically generated. Basically, my expectation is after inserting the employee data into the employee table, I want to select the employee number generated as part of the insert statement, which I just want to print it here. So as expected, the select statement is fetching the employee number and it is returning and it is printing in the output. So in this simple example, just to insert and extract the employee number, we are using two statements. One statement to insert the data and one select statement basically to extract the employee information. Instead of writing two statements like insert and select, by using returning into class, we can combine the logic of the insert as well as select. That means as part of the insert statement, we can use the returning into class, which will automatically return the employee number the moment the data is inserted into the table. So we'll try to understand with more examples and what scenarios we need to use. But before that, let me quickly take you through the Oracle documentation. So here is the snippet from Oracle documentation. As you can see here, the returning into class specifies the variable in which to store the values returned by the statement to which the class belong. Basically, as part of the DML statement, we can use the returning into class. So the data, whatever is affected by the DML statement like insert, update, delete, all those information we can automatically return into the variable specified as part of this returning into class. And the syntax is very simple and straightforward. We just need to say the returning or return keyword followed by the list of columns what we want to return and followed by the variables. Suppose if you are returning just one single row, we can use the scalar variable. Suppose if you are returning more than one row, then we need to use the composite variable. I will show you 4 examples to understand the usage of returning class as part of insert statement, update statement, delete statement, and then as part of an update statement which is going to update multiple rows. Let's start with the demo. Let's start with the first example to understand the usage of returning into class as part of the insert statement. First, let me create the table called T_emp. The table is created. So now if you see this anonymous block, I'm trying to insert an employee called Ravi into this table. Immediately after inserting the data, I just want to extract the employee number. First, let me execute this statement as it is. Then probably will rewrite the statement using the returning into class. Right. Now the data is inserted. That's why the employee number is returned into this variable, which is just printed as part of this output statement here. Right. Now let me rewrite this block by using the returning into class. Okay. So now instead of writing an insert and select separately, we can just simply say return or returning. What we want to return in this case is employee number into the variable. Since in this case I'm just going to return only one column name, I'm just using a scalar variable here. Let me remove this select statement from here. Okay, so instead of Ravi, let me say Kavin. Right, now let me re-execute this anonymous block. Now if you see here, now that in the previous example I have used an insert and a select statement separately, but now both the logic of insert as well as select are combined into the single statement, single insert with the returning into class, right? So this is the usage of returning into class. In fact, we can combine or we can use the returning into class as part of the insert or update or delete so that any data that is affected by that corresponding DML statement we can return into a variable specified as part of this returning into class. Now let me just select from the table, select star from T_emp. Now as expected, there are 2 records available here. Right. Now let me show you an example for update statement. Right. Let me just drop this table. Let me recreate the table again. Table is created. Right. Now I'm just going to insert Ravi. Let me commit the data. Let me select from the table. Now there is one record called employee name Ravi with employee number 1 and a salary of 1000. Now if you see this anonymous block, I'm just trying to update the salary of the employee number, that is 1, which I'm just passing as an input here. So I'm just trying to update the salary of employee by incrementing by 5%. So before updating, I'm just selecting the old salary into a variable and I'm just printing here. After updating the salary, and again I'm selecting the salary and I'm just printing as part of this DBMS output statement. So my expectation is before update and after update, I basically want to capture the old salary and the new salary. Let me execute this anonymous block now. As expected, this is just printing old salary as 1000 and new salary as 1050. But in this case, we are using an update statement followed by the select statement to extract the new salary. Now using returning into class, we can combine the logic of both this update as well as this select. Now let me re-execute this statement, or let me rewrite the statement using the returning into class. So now here I'm going to say returning salary into LV new salary variable. I'm just going to remove this select statement. Okay, so let me drop this table, let me recreate this, let me insert this sample data, let me commit. So let me just check, there is only one record here. Now let me re-execute the state anonymous block again. Now if you see, we just rewrote exactly the same anonymous block. Here if you see, there is an update statement followed by the select statement, basically to fetch the new salary. Now instead of writing an update and select separately, we just rewritten this update statement by specifying the returning class. So basically this returning class is doing the work of this select statement, right? Now let me show you one more example on how to use the returning class as part of the delete statement. Okay, so here is a sample example. So first let me drop and recreate the table, and I'm just inserting a sample data 1. Let me select from the table. So as expected, there is one employee in this employee table. Now if you see this anonymous block, I'm basically deleting this information. So basically after deleting the employee, we will not be able to fetch back the data from the table. But using a returning into class, whatever the data we are going to delete or deleting as part of the delete statement, we can save those information into another set of variable. So suppose if you want to do this as part of a simple anonymous block, even before deleting, I want to select those information and preserve in a variable. So in this case, even before executing this delete statement, I am selecting all the information from the employee table and storing as part of this record type variable. Now instead of doing that, we can just use the returning into class. First let me execute this information and I will show you. Now if I execute, it is just showing that whichever the employee is deleted. For example, 1 Ravi, which I am just printing as part of this DBMS output statement. Now let me rewrite the same information by using returning into class. So now that we have one record in the table t underscore emp. So now instead of writing like this, what I can say, returning all these information into the record type variable. Let me remove this select statement altogether from here. Now let me re-execute this statement. Now let me execute this anonymous block. Now you can see, as expected, whatever the data is getting deleted as part of the delete statement is actually returning into this record type variable. That means whatever the information we are going to delete, so those information are getting stored into this record type variable, or you can say any scalar variable or a composite variable, so that these variables we can use to log or display the information that got deleted at a later point of time. So that is the use of returning into class. I just want to show you one last example for the usage of bulk collection as part of the update statement, because as I already told, in all these three examples we are just inserting one record and selecting one record, or we are updating one record, or we are deleting one record. So because of that, I have used the scalar variable which can hold one single value or single row of value. But whenever you are updating more than one record, then we need to use the composite variable to hold more than one record. So that's the example I just want to show. So now if you see here, let me show you the update example here. So this is our previous update example. Because we are updating only one record, I have used the scalar variable here. You can see here, updating one record, and as part of the returning class, I'm just using a scalar variable, which is just a number variable. But suppose in this example, if you can see here, I'm updating the salary of all the employees. So that is the reason I'm using a collection variable. You can see here I'm using bulk collect into class. So I'm using a collection variable. So basically in this example, I'm trying to update more than one salary, and I want to print the old and new salary of all the employees. Okay, let me just execute and show you the example. Let me drop, just a second, drop this table. Table is dropped. I'm recreating the table. Now I am inserting 3 employees, Ravi, Kavin and Varun, into this table. Let me select from the table. As expected, we have 3 records, 3 employees in this table. Now if you can see, as part of the update statement, I am trying to update the salary of all the employees. So before updating the information, I have collected the salary information into a collection so that I can preserve the old salary. As part of the update, I am returning or saving the salary and other information into another collection variable so that I will have the post update information so that I can print both old salary as well as new salary. So let me execute this anonymous block now. Now if you can see here, as part of the update, we are updating all the salary by incrementing by 5%. Since I have collected both the old salary and the new salary, as part of this for loop, I am just printing the old salary and the new salary that got updated. So basically this is the usage of returning into class. So using returning into class, we can return the values affected by the insert, update and delete statement into a variable rather than writing a separate select statement. It's not only used for a standalone insert, update, delete, it can be used as part of the execute immediate, that is a dynamic DML statements also. If you want any questions to be answered, please post it in the comment section, or you can drop to this mail ID. But before that, you can check whether a similar question has already been answered as part of the subscriber question series or as part of the interview question series. If you're not able to find your question here, please write back to me. I'll be happy to record and post as a new video. If you have learned something new, please like this video, subscribe and stay tuned for new feature video, interview question, SQL practical question and concept videos. And thanks a lot for watching this video.